Welcome to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It is your host with the most. So, it made headlines yesterday that Papi Music, carving its space, was arrested in Florida for fraud, what we call scamming. But in order for me to get into the story and give you the full story, I have to first let you know who Papi Music is. Okay? So, just recently, the Jamaica Observer actually ran an article on Papi Dan, and that article was published Friday, October 16th of 2020. And in that article, it started out by saying Dante Johnson, and they showed his picture, gave his full name. While attending Montego Bay Community College, Dante Johnson had aspirations of becoming an entrepreneur. However, music was what he pursued professionally. Now, 3 years after establishing his music label, Papi Music, Johnson is one of the most in-demand producers. So a lot of you probably thinking, who is he? I don't even know who he is. Okay, the production house is carving out a niche in the industry, having worked with long list of acts, including TJ, Up Top, Chronic Law, Pain, Gage, Motivation, Chanel, Yamabella, and Alien Mode by Takeover. Other acts include people like Christopher Martin, Stylo G, Ja Vinci, and the name goes on and on. He said that in all truth and honesty, what I bring to the table is just my uniqueness, my ear, my sound. I try not to target one specific audience because I produce music for each and everyone. The brother spoke brilliantly. He said he started doing music with a schoolmate from high school, Cornwall College. And this was January of 2017. From school days, me know him bad. And me start doing some music together. I thought of how to make my music reach a wider market, and at the time, Montego Bay artists like Rhyme Minister and TJ were creating a buzz, and I already had a connection with them. So, I reached out to them and they were willing to give me the strength. Then, we have to give the brand a name, and Papi Music was officially made May of 2017. Now, that is Papi Music. He has worked with some of the biggest names in the entertainment industry today, dancehall, reggae music sphere, circle, and that's how it started versus how it is going. I am located in Florida, hence the name SouFLoTV, as I am in South Florida, for those of you who did not know. And the news headlines today in Florida says, detectives search for more victims of sweepstakes scam after arrest in Broward. Now, I must tell you that he has been released on bail so far, but it is far from over. Broward County, Florida. Detectives are searching for the victims of fraudsters who use the name of sweepstake companies to scam victims with offers that sound too good to be true. The Broward Sheriff Office announced this on Friday. Deputies arrested Dante Johnson, who is 25 years old, of a plantation address on Wednesday after accusing him of stealing about $300,000 from 18 seniors. The victim from Sarasota County lost about $63,000 in the scam. Deputies from Sarasota and Broward County and members of the Plantation Police Department Special Weapons and Tactics Team conducted a search warrant on his home on Wednesday. They confiscated more than $17,000 in cash, ammunition, 4 firearms, and 1 stolen firearm that was stolen out of Georgia. They also seized paperwork and electronic devices. Detectives believe that Johnson targeted his victims with a publisher's clearinghouse scam that promised the purported winners a grand prize payoff if they first paid the taxes on their winnings. Detectives said that he opened up several fraudulent bank accounts to receive the funds. Johnson is facing criminal charges for the use of personal information. He has also been hit with bank fraud. He has also been hit with grand theft of a firearm. Sergeant Donald Richard is asking anyone who believes that they have been a victim of this scam to please call 954-888-1581. People, we probably all have had this phone call before. Good morning, sir. I am Richard James from Publishing Clearinghouse, and you have just been selected to win $100,000. Are you happy? And you said yes, but what do I have to do to get the money? And they say, well, you first have to deposit $2,500 into so-and-so account, and the money will be forwarded to you. That money, the $2,500, will be for fees to clear the money, and then your money will be forwarded to you in lump sum. And there are people that actually still believe that this happens. It's a joke for me that anyone with all their faculties, their senses intact, even believe that this is real anymore and are not aware of these types of scammers. However, I've did shows on SouFLoTV where I explained to you before that usually they target an audience who has issues cognitively, mental issues. So Alzheimer's, dementia, the common illnesses of the brain that manifest themselves when we are elderly are usually in play here. Not to mention, a lot of these seniors are sitting at home. They don't get a visit from a friend or a family. All their friends are probably dead. They're too old to go out. Their family is too busy to come see them. They're lonely. So any phone call that starts a conversation is a phone call that they will entertain. This is why it is dangerous, because it's called preying upon the seniors. Most times they're suffering from stuff like Alzheimer's and dementia. So when they hear these things, oh, you've won $100,000, they're thinking, oh man, I'm almost 95 years old. I might as well go ahead and see if I can get this $100,000 in. But they're not thinking with a straight mind. The police has also said that more charges are pending, although he is released on bail. So he's released on bail or bonded out, but they are putting a case together even tighter. They have video footage. This is how they were able to trail him. They had video footage of him going into the banking facilities, using the people's identification to get the money. They have video footages of him getting the money and leaving the facility with the money. They have the video footages, so he is definitely looking at some time. However, I have seen in the US where first-time offenders commit crimes like these, and then what happens next? They get slapped with probation and a fine, but they don't do jail time. So it might work that way in his favor, but given that he is an immigrant to the United States of America, he might not be able to get around that, because they tend to deal with immigrants differently, especially if you are from one of what they call the scamming nations, and Jamaica has become well known for scamming nations. There have been videos that were done from major news entities in Jamaica, documentaries trailing suspected scammers and scammers, and there has been put in place an entity that will not only find the scammers, or are working to find the scammers, but they are also going to take away everything that the so-called scammer has. So your bike, your cars, your house, mama house, everything. What these guys do usually is and I'm not talking about Papi, I'm just saying whoever is in that, The smart thing to do if you're going to do that would be to put all your assets in someone else's name. But of course, it has to be somebody you can trust, else they might run off with all the things that you have scammed so hard for. Go on, wall out, youth. Go on, wall out. Papi Dan is talented. Papi Dan is now famous. Papi Dan is in the entertainment industry and not just someone that's just in there. His name is well known in that circle. That means people are being referred to him, so he can hike up the price of his services, his beats, etc., his production. Him not just start out. He's not struggling to make it in there. Some people might say this is greed. Others might say he is a part of something bigger. A lot of the times when you see people doing their thing and them look like they're shining and they have the nice car and them get a nice house and they do this and do that. My granny always tell me, she always said, don't grudge people for what you see them with, because you don't know what they did to get it and you don't know what they have to continue to do to maintain it. She tell me that from I was a boy, and it's sticking on my head till today. You understand? Every mickle make a muckle. Go on, work hard, put your talents to good use, and do your things smartly. We'll continue to follow this story to see where it goes and what comes out of it. Will he get jail time? Will he be deported? As you know, he is not from the U.S. He obviously went to school in Jamaica and lived in Jamaica up until a certain age, but that does not give me proper information as to his legal status or his immigration status. Is he a permanent resident? Is he a citizen? We don't know. So all that will come into play as they press these charges in a court of law and he goes before a judge to stand trial and all these things, or if they can work something out behind the scenes where no trial is done and he cops to a plea deal. It can go many different ways, but we will stick to the story to see where it goes. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. Police are carry coke, producers and musicians with guns and scamming. Boy, I don't know. They definitely are going to continue to look at us in a certain kind of way for a long time to come. But me know enough man of business how them want look pan we. Cause both have to run and food have to eat. That's the saying. I'm out. Peace.